That's a red herring out there. That's a red herring. We did a study when I was governor. It was, you couldn't have won an election on voter fraud in Minnesota. There weren't enough votes.
Well, Jesse, that was in your state, and what, 15 years ago, or 12, 14 years ago. They're now just giving them driver's license and letting them vote in California. And
they don't have to take a driver's test? They don't have to get behind the wheel?
Nope, they give it to them. I mean, yes, they go take the test.
They don't, so they don't have to do nothing. They just show up and they hand them a driver's license.
No, they go and they take the driver's test.
Then that's California's fault. That should be dealt with by the state of California, not the federal government, because the federal government has nothing to do with driver's
Listen, I
license.
agree with you. We need immigrants in this country, but we don't need mothers with no skills with 3 kids who are immediately signed on to welfare the day they get here.
Well, I'm only laughing because I'm thinking back to when I was governor, and I met we were putting the budget together, and all the welfare protesters were out in front of the Capitol, and I remember I went down to talk to them, which no governor had ever done. And I remember a woman with her baby yelling at me that I was responsible for her and her child, and I remember looking at her and saying, well, where's your husband? And she said he ran off. And I looked at her and I said, well, so I'm responsible because you married a bum? And somehow it comes to my responsibility? And I remember Rush Limbaugh, I was his hero for like 30 days, you know, this new independent governor who said this. The point I'm making is that our system is violated because the people that make the system allow it to be violated. So if you want the system to not be violated, you have to blame the people that create it for allowing that to happen. Don't blame the people that find the loopholes. Find the people that allowed the loopholes in the first place.
I totally agree with what you're saying, but they can just take what I say or you say out of context, and we need to get the public focused on actually stopping all these different loopholes and dealing with a special interest. Let's shift gears.
You know what's so weird, Alex? I cross the border every year twice. And when I go into Mexico, sometimes there's nobody even there. I mean, I've actually stopped my vehicle and rolled my windows down and said, well, doesn't somebody at least say Buenos Dias and hand you a piece of paper? No. They're not worried that I'm coming into their country. They care. I got pesos. I'm going to spend some, and it's going to spur the economy. Yet when I turn around and come back into my own country, I've had times where 7 lanes of traffic, I've had to wait 3 hours in the blistering 99-degree where I can prove to you that global warming and climate change is real. Because while I'm sitting in my pickup truck, the temperature's gone from 99 degrees in the desert all the way to 116 while I'm simply waiting to cross into my country, which repels me like I'm some sort of rabid monster. And then, you know what the first thing they ask you, Alex, when you come back to your own country? You know what the first question is?
What is it?
Without a doubt, I can verbatim, how long have you been in Mexico? And I think to myself, how is that any of your business? Whether I'm in Mexico one day or whether I went there for 9 months, it's really none of your business how long I've been in Mexico. I have a legitimate passport. This is my country. I'm coming back to my country. Why do you need to know how long I've been in Mexico?
Jesse Ventura is our guest. It's funny you bring up climate change because it is a very seriously complex issue. And when we come back from break, I want to cover this as our final subject. Obviously, there's weather manipulation going on, but when we say global warming, now they're saying climate change, period, that we're denying that. Climate change is always happening. No one denies that there aren't heat sinks in cities with all the engines and all the concrete that it doesn't go up 5, 10 degrees. What we're saying is their solution to it is global taxation and regulation. So I want to get your view on that. And this London Guardian article from February 15th, spy agencies fund climate research in hunt for weather weapon, scientists fear. The London Guardian reads like an episode of your show from HARP, one of the scientists that helped develop this. So what I'm concerned about is they're already manipulating the weather, that's admitted, and weaponizing it. We'll be back with our final segment with Jesse Ventura. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com. Check out his TV show at aura.tv/offthegrid or on Twitter at GovJVentura. Follow us on Twitter, Real Alex Jones. Stay with us.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Extendovite is a 7-herb heart protection cocktail designed to support cardiovascular health, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. February is Heart Month, and we at Heart Drop 2000 are having our Heart Month sale with prices from 6 years ago. Starting now until February 28th, you can purchase a 4-month supply of either capsules or liquid for only $125, including shipping and handling, to help you help yourself. So call now to take advantage of this one-time offer. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. A toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up a 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Final segment with Jesse Ventura, my compadre down in Mexico. And then, of course, we'll come back, cover all the news. There's so much of it, and open the phones up for your calls for the second half of the broadcast today. Again, I'm Alex Jones coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin. So we went to break. Spy agencies fund climate research in hunt for weather weapons, scientists fears. U.S. expert Alan Roebuck raises concerns over who would control climate-altering technologies if research is paid for by intelligence agencies. Well, it's already going on. Billions a year by the Department of Energy, HARP and others. You've been to HARP. You've investigated it. The Russians, folks in Dubai, they admit they can already control the weather. I've had the former head of weather weapons for the U.S. government, Ben Livingston, on. They were controlling and steering and killing hurricanes back in the 60s. What do you think's really going on with the weather, Jesse Ventura, and all these earthquakes we're seeing in Miami and Oklahoma? What's going on?
Well, part of that's fracking. You know, fracking is causing earthquakes. We know that for a fact. But what's going on? They're violating treaty agreements. They're signed treaties that nobody can use the weather for war.
That's right.
And yet here we are violating them behind the back, and nobody's going to do anything about it anywhere in the world. You know, I don't know what to say about it. It's ridiculous. You start messing with Mother Nature, and Mother Nature's going to come back and bite you.
What are you most concerned about in the world? I mean, do you think humanity's going to survive?
I want to believe it is, but I'll tell you what, I've been down here in the Baja now for 10 years, and maybe some of it's due to the hurricane that hit here, which was devastating earlier this past fall. But out where I live, Alex, I'm not seeing the fish this year like I've seen them in past years. There's no sardine swarms that I'd see 5 or 6 of them a day, these hot spots of sardines. I'm not seeing that anymore. There's nothing dead on the beaches anymore. You can't be dead on the beach if nothing in the water's alive.
That's right, and Fukushima started melting down again this week, and that's what we've got in mainline scientific reports. They're saying much of the northern Pacific is deader than a doornail.
Well, I don't know what. The whales are here, I will say that. The whales are surviving. I'm seeing plenty of whales. But I'm worried about the other things I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a lot of seagulls, or not seagulls, but what's the ones that's...
Pelicans.
Pelicans, there you go. I'm not seeing, I used to see them, they were like fighter formations down here. You'd see 5 or 6 a day with 20 of them in a group flying in formation, unbelievable. Today I see a single pelican here and there. I finally saw a couple formations the other day. So I don't know if the hurricane threw everything off here, or I don't know. And I'll tell you what's going on down here. It isn't the sport fishing. It isn't the Mexicans and their banca boats fishing. They've been doing it for years. It's these trawlers. They're out at night. I see them. They're 5 abreast. They drag these nets, and they literally sweep the bottom of everything that exists.
Well, that's a big part of it. You want to talk about a real environmental crisis. Overfishing is devastating fish populations worldwide, and something needs to be done about it. That is a real environmental crisis, in my view.
Yeah, I mean, I'm living it down here. Alex, I didn't think in 1 decade I would see the change down here that I've seen in 1 decade as far as the wildlife goes in the ocean down here.
Well, I tell you, it is...
Remember, this is the place Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau bought the Calypso, his ship here, parked it here for 2 to 3 years and said, this is paradise. I don't think he might say that today.
Wow, real environmental crisis. Undoubtedly, humans are causing some big problems, but the globalists just use that to divert us off into things that give them more power and don't fix the problems.
Alex, always remember what one of my heroes, George Carlin, said. You know why we're here, don't you, humans on Earth?
Why?
Alex? Well, the Earth needed plastic. You know, the Earth can produce anything else. The one thing the Earth cannot produce is plastic. So that's the reason humans came, because humans know how to make plastic, and the Earth needed plastic, because other than that, we are simply a consumer. We give nothing back. We only take.
Well, if you look out in the Pacific, they say that there is a garbage island bigger than Texas floating out off the coast of the United States in between Japan. Imagine if that thing ever comes ashore. Governor Ventura, I'm not kissing your butt. It is like the fountain of youth down there. You look like you've lost 15, 20 pounds. You look 10 years younger. What are you doing?
Well, I do a 4-mile walk every morning in the desert with 4-pound weights on each ankle.
And you're doing some surfing.
Well, I'm getting them in. I'm doing a lot of old dumbbell training. You know, I don't have all the mechanized machines off the grid. We're ducking and hiding from the drones all the time. That's why Abraham's always dirty, scrambling
Jesse,
around.
we're out of time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, Alex, we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot, buddy. There goes Jesse Ventura on our show.
We're on the march.